nästan alla här vet varför vi kommer till Café Panafrika varje onsdag. Så att, jag tror inte att jag behöver berätta så mycket om vad vi gör. Vi har tyvärr en broder som inte kan svenska.
Jag kan svenska.
Så att, den här föreläsningen kommer jag få i på engelska. Så jag byter språk så. Så att brodern kan vara med. Sen ska vi bara fortsätta på det spåret. Men om man kan, eller man vill ställa sin fråga eller göra kommentar på svenska, det är helt okej. För att föreläsaren kan både svenska och engelska. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to Café Panafrika. This evening's lecture has to do with the African family. There are a couple of friends who have called me, and asked me what is this topic about. People have a lot of thoughts about it, but it's unfortunate that they have not come. I don't know why. So myself, I'm really like looking forward to listening to this lecture because it's some kind of a very interesting topic. Because when you say African family, people will think about it from different perspectives. Someone told me, how are you going to talk about the African family? Do you mean the structures of an African family? Do you mean the connections between Africans who are not from the same family? And so I had no answer to the question anyway. I just proposed that, okay, you can come to the lecture and listen to the man who is going to give us this lecture so that you really get to know what you're talking about, or maybe ask some questions and get the answers that you might need, or maybe get an argument with him anyway. So I'll just give the floor to Baruch Rashid. That is, he's an Afrikan. He's been here a couple of times. He's always there for us when we need him. So Baruch, you're welcome. This is the floor. You have 3/4 of an hour.
Thanks.
And then we'll take a break and continue after that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bayo. My name is already mentioned. Baruch is my name, and original from Africa. We say Tanzania and Zanzibar, where I was born. I have something very important that I want to tell. I will talk about family in Africa, or African family. It is a part of our unification and the feeling of being African that's going on. I will start with African family. So we have a family in Ghana that's with the 4 children, a parent with the 4 children. And we have a family from Somali with the 4 children. Yeah, it could be west, east, south, north. So we distinguish, we have no different in any African family. So it's written by me, it's in Baruch. Yeah. I will go to the agenda. I will try not to take a lot of time because I have 45 minutes, and I will make it very short, but I will be very clear for everybody to understand. I will start with the introduction, that I will define a little bit about what it's all about, this African family, and the African family itself. There will be different ideas and how African family was supposed to be and is going to be. Importance of a decent family. This is a very crucial and a very important to be decent. Yeah. To have a strength in our family and organize us to be better for the African sake. Father's role. Give a brief definition about the father. and how important the father to stand for a family in general. And we have a mother's role. That's the mother is a part of our creation. We were created through the women's womb, and our mother are playing vital role for us as a man. We be proud as a man, but without the mother we are just nothing. Children, talk about a little bit about the children, and conclusions, the last will be questions. I hope you will not have so much question because I'm not going in detail, but there's some other parts are very painful. Yeah, I hope you will question me in a nice way because it's a very sensitive part. Introduction. I would like to explain something about African family in which we admire to live in, or many of us would like to have living in. Yeah, the family with a highly respect and desire to live a better life in peace, love, unity, prosperity, and harmony. That a family that based on mutual understanding and affection in one another. That we all feel we belong to a family where we are accepted as members. This presentation will enable us to focus, reconsider, and emphasizes us to be more responsibility in raising our children, to be more politely, decent, and thoughtful. And it is all about us for being more constructive family to fulfill our obligations in a way that we will be able to stand and keep our family together. I'm standing here just to talk. I'm not standing here that I want to force you or saying that you have to do what I'm about to say, but to remind us to take our responsibility to build the family and hold together for the better Africa. Because the family is a core foundation to have a strength as a nation, as a continent. Because the family keep us all together. If we don't have a strong family, we split, and the consequences what we see back home in Africa. And we should try to keep us together, to have a strong African family where everyone is welcome, so long you follow and respect our family principles. African family. We have to engage in reconciliations and solve our problems which keep us apart. We know that we are facing a lot of challenges, but if we reconcile us and stick together and solve those problems which are existed, we definitely sure we will keep us and have something very strong. Not to be apart from fraternity, caring, prosper, and security. If we are brother and sister, a family, that we are belonging, we will be caring one another, take care in time of needs. We will prosper not only materialistic, but in moral, and be more sentimental, that we are living better and secure, that we don't afraid one another, we don't feel that he's or she's abandoned, she's a burden. Now, that we have to reconcile for those problems. We know that we are in a crucial time. We have problems that we need to be solved. They need to be solved, and the conflict that are going. But if we act as a family, we are definitely sure that we keep all differences away from us, that we will be able to stick together. Yeah. I'm not going to talk so much about this person, or I don't gonna say that he's a red belt, but I will say an opposition that is able and excited to sit down for a reconciliation in order to solve those problems that keep us apart. It's from Congo, Zaire, we say Republic of Congo. Yeah. Yeah, continue the family. Our African family should base on unity, that we be unified. We know that everywhere in the world now, people want to united. America is already united. I don't want to say that I'm a brainwashing American, but we look at the infrastructure of American constitution and unification based on mutual understanding. Yeah. The Europe, we have a European Union. Africa, we have an African Union. But there's some countries in Africa that don't want to hold unity. And that is very sad. We should unify us, that will keep our family together. Because when the family are divided, then there is no one will care for one another, and that is a tragedy for the human and African existence, African family existence. We have to be in love. We have to love one another. The love that we show kindness, we are kind to one another and care on one another. That is the most important fundamental principle for being united. We have to respect. Respect is something very unique. That I respect you and you respect me back, so we can sit down together, discuss, and make something very wonderful that is a symbol for our unity, our family as a unified family. I'm not here to talking about not only family, papa and mother, but it is in general knowledge of being a family is a unification, and as well a family that existed in the motherhood or the parenthood as a mother, father, and children. So we will be prospered, and we will bring happiness in African as Africans, because we feel we belong to in an African family. And look, you wonderful ladies, the mother show clearly that the mother cares for her daughter, and the daughter show affection and love to their mother, and prospered because they want to be together. I don't go so much into detail, but the family from Somalia, and I don't fish for the compliment because we have Somalian friends here, but this is, yeah. Importance of a decent family. A family care should be first priority to hold together. The family togetherness is very important for a different number of reasons. First, for nurture the kinship. That a kinship is a relationship that you are kin to one another. And preserve jura tie. That there's some jurisdictions, laws, regulations need to be dealt with in a family in certain ways, certain terms, in terms of difficulties and other things that follow the laws and regulation principles that are made within a family and in the country generally. moral ties, that the children could be learned different kind of morals which the parents have and are willing to give to their children. These things is based on the family foundations, on the different kind of religions and philosophies. Sentimental ties. Yeah, that you have a feeling inside that if something bad happened to your brother or your sister or your mother, you have a compassion and are willing to help in order to solve the problem which have occurred, and be able to inculcate that you give the culture, and the culture is very important. It just depends on where in which part of the world you existed, in which area, in which country. So we know that within African we have many different cultures, but we can inculcate according to our family's principles and showing love, and we have a very happy family here. They are well incultured, they respect one another, they share the sentimental ties and even the dural tie. It is very important to be having such a wonderful family as it is. Our parents parents have obligation of taking a good care of their children. We all know that the parents are co-foundation for us. So they have to give them education, stimulate the children visions that they can learn and know things, because the parents are willing to take this responsibility in a way that the children will be safe and feel belonging, and advise them, protect them from harm, because the world is full of dangerous things and harmful conditions in which the parents have to be able to take care, and socialize them, that the children have to be social in order to learn the general knowledge. Yeah, family gathering. I think I went a little bit faster here. Oh, something wrong happened. One picture being taken away. It happened like maybe I took away. The father's role. Being a father is not just to produce an offspring. That is, we know that sometimes a man feels, my father, I have 4 or 5 children. That is not a reason for you to call yourself a father. Yeah, to be a father, there's a lot of things you should consider. You have your duties that are very important to do. Yeah, you have to take care of your family. You have to be a good father. Not only say, I have children and I'm a man. No, that is not good. Yeah, you have to provide necessary shelters that the family could be well protected and be safe and enjoy the prosperities of your manhood, of the man that are provided. Be great guardian for the family, that you protect your family in a way that is necessary as a family, and what is a principle of being a family. So for African could be feeling better. And hold family together. Father who cares for his family members. And preserve dural tie, moral ties, sentimental ties, and be able to inculcate. As we see a family that have been well incultured, and they have a very strong bond within the family. Like, this is what Africans should be, and we all African have to be able to be such a family that brothers and sisters, mother and fathers are feeling very strong and well-being, for the well-being. Go forward. The parents' obligation. The parents have to take obligation of take care of the family to be well, and the children will be well nurtured. That they will grow in a way that are feeling better, and the parents will follow the principle of teaching them in order for the children to have a general knowledge and be well educated. Stimulate their visions, that the parents can stimulate their children's vision, for by the time the children are grown up, they have a great ambition to learn more, to show how well-being of the family is or are. This is very important, and the parents have to advise, because the children need a guidance of the parents. So the parents, it is not only the one, it's a biological one. It could be the parent from a neighbor or a friend. If a friend and the neighbors are feeling of that African family belonging, so we have somehow a strength to keep us together and avoid the conflicts and other atrocity that's happening in some areas back home. The parents have to protect their children from harm. There's many things can harm a child. If the parent does not give a proper education to their children, so they may be ended up in certain atmospheres, being a criminals and doing other things which are shameful for the family's well-being. And the important thing is to socialize them. The children have to be socialized in a way they can sit down and discuss, talk, and play in a way that when they grow up, they have capacity and ability to sit down and solve their problems. That's most important for us as a parents to do that, to teach our children, socialize them, protect them, and advise them as much as we can in the power that we have within ourselves. And we see the family gathering here, a happy family sitting together, and see how wonderful children they are, laughing, smiling. You know that this family is well nurtured, well protected. And this is not only the men's work, it is also women's work. The wives that have given such a man happiness and the family together. Our father's role. And being a father is not just to produce children in the earth. The father has many duties. That we should know that you are a man. A man is not just to say that I'm a father for 5 children, but you have to follow your duties, that including those things that I'm going to explain here. You have to be there to take care and keep the family feeling good. Provided necessary shelters, that the family will be well protected and enjoying the prosperity that you have provided. This is an cooperation. This is the way that husband and the wife have to work together to fulfill what is have been promised and what is necessary for the African family to be for the next generation. The father has to be a great guardian, that has to guide. He has to show that you are a man, and the man is not just only sitting down and talk, but a man has to work hard and provide all kind of necessities that are important for the family nourishment, and hold the family together. This is very important for us as a men, that we have to consider that we are guardian in the family, and we give what we can and what is in our capacity and ability for provisions. A family, a father who cares for his family, he is there when the children's birthday. He's there when the children need to go to the school. He's there for everything that's important for the family well-being. Our father's role. The father has to be a good example in a family growth. The real father is not the one who provokes violence, wandering in the streets, or waging war for nothing. And here I show the bad father's example of a bad father. I don't want to say that, but the father should not be a violent person, should not provoke the war, because this keeps this kind of father that split the family, create the troubles, and what we are going to face in Africa if we have such a father that's always fighting. What kind of father then? Is he constructive or destructive? Just a distraction. That we should learn to behave in a way that the men are standing to build, not to destroy. Mother's role. A mother is very important in a family. A building, her role is very unique and eminent. That she has a hard task from the beginning of giving the birth to the child and raise the child. And we should be very thankful to our mothers that I'm standing here because my mother took care of me, and I'm very proud for that. And I do proud for those women who are taking care of their children, and that is very good. And the mother principle strengthen the man. That we say every successful man, there is woman behind him. Because you cannot just go if the men say no. So you'll be down each and every time. So we have to be thankful so much and appreciate the women, our wives, our daughters. It could be our mothers, for the hard task they are having ahead to keep the African family better and well forever. The mother is to strengthen the man and nourishing the children. The mother who cares for the family well-being, she's there with the children when her child or her daughter or son are having a birthday, celebrate, smile, the child feel, oh, I'm belonging to this family. The mother's role. The mother should not allow abusive behavior, because once you lead to one single behavior from a man or from whatever, that you should know that it's going to be continuous. It is going to be one and one again. Yeah. The mother should not allow irresponsibility, not just be irresponsibility for the man, but also for herself. She has to take the responsibility that's necessary for her and the family. Yeah. Inactive, should not allow that behavior for both men and the women in general. Easygoing, manipulation, that is not allowed it at all. So we have very determined lady that I don't make a joke. If you just mess around, you will see. This is a lady that tried to warn. We have a children. Our children should be allowed to grow in a good environment and have access to a better education. Some of them, so with the children who are going to have education, will someday be leaders, great leader, businessmen and women, or other facilitators and so forth. The children have to live better living, because the family, the mother and father should, or the parent should try so much to keep family better, the children better, that they could live better for the sake of the African family. They should have a time to play. Associate with the parents. Here we have children that are going to school or elementary school. Here we have bachelors that acquire the knowledge to universities. That's what we want for the African to be, that many of our African children should be well educated. We know it is hard, but for us as a parent, we have to try hard to educate them, to give what is necessary for them to grow. And that is a very great thing for us. We have our children run the business, the ladies from the different countries in Africa. They've been making a business competitions, writing down their business plan. They're the champions. They won because they're coming up with the good ideas. We have then a child with an interest in engineering, learn to fly. Say they're like interested in some aerospace, or mechanical engineering. Children will have to be protected from harm, servitude as slaves, starvations. Here we have children. They are carrying guns. Actually, the children are supposed to go out and play or go out to the school, but they are waging wars because we parents, as a man or as a general somewhere, did not take his responsibility as a father or as a brother to put the children to the school, and instead of militarize them to engage war. And you know how it is when the child has a gun. Just an atrocity. I'm not going so much in detail. Now we should stop this kind of a system, either by telling or writing and say that we don't allow the children to engage wars as a military. And we have another problem here. Many of African countries or elsewhere in the world that put children to the service as a maid, as slaves, as accounted. This is that to deprive the child's right to go to school. If you're a parent or someone who took a child to his place and made a maid, it is very shameful for the habit to be ill-practiced and should be abandoned and should be abolished. And we have to fight somehow to stop these kind of atrocities. And even fetching the water on the long distance, a small child. Where is a grown-up then? Maybe somewhere looking. This is very painful. are children's starvation and the disappointment. They are facing challenges together. If it is not me, maybe someone else had passed through this kind of experience, that because of the means war and irresponsibility of Africans, because these children are from Africa, are waging a war, and what is an outcome? We have many orphans, homeless children, and nobody cares so much about it, except someone was very happy to take a photo and put in the magazine. Now we need to do. This is the most painful, that a vulture was supposed to eat carcass of the animals who dead maybe from other reason, but are waiting for the human flesh. And it is a child that the mother could be already dead and the child is dead. And this is the reason what happening here is that we Africans have forgot our responsibility of take care of ourselves. It could be because of slavery or whatever it is, but it's the time now for us to stop this kind of thing, that we need to raise these children, or our children, that they have possibilities for better living and better family in Africa. We have a child, amputation, arms have been cut off, just because someone was thinking that when he grow he will revenge. But he is innocent, and we need to fight to stop these things. We don't need to fight to war or whatever, but we need somehow to make the principle that Africans and African children are enjoying the continent and feeling better, and stop these kind of cruelties that some of us, brothers and sisters back home or somewhere, are committing. We used to say, or there is an English word, the beggar cannot be choose. They are not supposed to beg. Africa is rich in minerals. We have wealth, population, trees, animals, and everything. But what is happening is a shameful, that we see our children are starving and begging. And we should try hard to educate ourselves and find a way to diminish and taking all away this kind of situation that are not to exist. That we need to see the children are well dressed, well fed, and live better. We have another problem that most of us are facing. We have a lonely refugees children, with their culture, heritage, hatred of their origin, moral degraded, exposed to the Russia discrimination. And we have a children that are African. There's many possibilities and many also disgrace that the child is grown up in the white environment and will hate a black person, like black parents. And there is someone who could take a. We have African Americans. There is African Americans orphanage, but there was a lady from America went to Malawi and bought the child. This is a shameful to see African be adopted from Africa to elsewhere. We should try to find a way to keep Africans' children in Africa and feel better. Conclusion. I would like to conclude by mentioning important having an African family that cares, guide, and protect our children to become our greatest leaders, scientists, businessmen, and women. Family members have to allow and follow principles for a better Africa. I hope the questions. I'm sorry if I took a lot of time.